There is a power that resides within the human mind, a power so vast, so untapped, that most people live and die without ever discovering even a fraction of it. The mind, when trained, when disciplined, when focused, becomes a fortress of such strength that it cannot be shaken by ridicule, cannot be bent by failure, cannot be broken by adversity. When you build a mind so strong that it scares people, you rise above the ordinary current of existence and enter a place where few dare to go. For the majority are content to float with the tide, content to think the thoughts that others pour into their heads, content to live as echoes rather than as voices. But the individual who chooses to strengthen their mind becomes something far more than average. They become a leader, a creator, a force that changes the very conditions of their world. Consider for a moment what it means to scare people with the strength of your mind. It is not about arrogance, nor is it about intimidation in the physical sense. It is about possessing such unshakable certainty, such clarity of thought, such mastery of your own mental powers, that those around you feel both awe and discomfort in your presence. They recognize that your mind operates on a different frequency. They sense that you cannot be deceived, manipulated, or swayed by trivial things. They realize that your convictions are not shallow opinions, but forged beliefs carved out of deep reflection and relentless discipline. This kind of mind unsettles those who live by impulse, for it reveals their weakness. It unsettles those who rely on fear, for it shows them their limitations. It unsettles those who think small, for it magnifies the contrast between mediocrity and mastery. The first step toward building such a mind is to understand that every thought you allow to linger in your consciousness plants a seed. These seeds do not vanish. They grow silently until they bear fruit in the form of habits, character, and destiny. A weak mind is not born weak. It is weakened by neglect, by constant surrender to destructive thoughts, by the habit of allowing the outside world to dictate the inner one. A strong mind is not given as a gift at birth. It is built brick by brick through the rigorous discipline of choosing thoughts that empower rather than diminish. Every single day you are either strengthening your mental fortress or letting it decay. The choice is always yours. The world is filled with distractions designed to pull you away from the work of building your mind. Noise, entertainment, gossip, fear. These things seduce the undisciplined, but the one who seeks true strength must learn the art of silence, the art of solitude, the art of focus. A strong mind does not belong to those who cannot sit alone with their own thoughts. It belongs to those who can command their thoughts and direct them toward a chosen purpose. That is the difference between drifting and steering. The drifter is at the mercy of the wind. The thinker, the builder of a strong mind, takes hold of the rudder and steers his course. If you would build a mind that frightens the weak and inspires the strong, you must cultivate an unbreakable faith in yourself. Faith is not a matter of wishful thinking. It is a matter of conditioning. When you repeatedly tell your mind that you can, when you affirm your vision with unwavering confidence, your subconscious begins to accept it as reality. And once the subconscious accepts it, it will mobilize every resource within you to make it happen. Others may look at you and call you unreasonable, delusional, or extreme. But the truth is that every great advancement, every great invention, every great transformation in human history came from an individual whose faith was so strong it terrified the doubters. They dared to believe in what others said was impossible. They dared to hold fast when others wavered. They dared to keep walking through the storm until the sun shone again. You cannot build such a mind without struggle. Struggle is the very forge in which strength is created. Weakness is easy, comfort is easy, conformity is easy. Strength comes when you embrace the difficulty, when you train your mind to endure discomfort without surrendering. The moment you teach your mind that it can persist through pain, through rejection, through failure, You build a wall of resilience that others cannot penetrate. Most people quit at the first sign of resistance. They let failure define them, but those who develop the strength to keep pushing, to keep thinking, to keep creating even when the world seems against them, those are the ones who emerge with a mind of steel. They understand that every challenge is not a barrier but a stepping stone. Every setback is not an end but a test. Every obstacle is not a curse but a teacher. When you walk among people with a mind like this, you will feel different, and they will feel it too. They may whisper that you are too serious, too focused, too obsessed. They may laugh at your discipline, mock your determination, try to lure you back into mediocrity. But beneath their laughter is unease, because deep down they know that your seriousness exposes their complacency, your focus reveals their distraction, your discipline uncovers their weakness. And often, what people cannot understand, they fear. Your mind will scare them not because it seeks to, but because it shows them a reflection of their own neglected potential. To build such a mind requires relentless practice in controlling your inner dialogue. The words you say to yourself shape your entire reality. If you tell yourself you are weak, you will live weakly. If you tell yourself you are strong, you will begin to act with strength. The mind believes whatever it is told repeatedly. You must therefore guard your self-talk as if it were the very foundation of your being, for it is. Tell yourself every day that you are capable, that you are unshaken, that you will persist no matter what. Tell yourself that your vision is possible, that your dream is worthy, that your mission is unstoppable. Speak these words until they cease to be words and become laws carved into the bedrock of your mind. Another discipline of mental strength is the practice of focus. The world applauds those who dabble in many things, but the mind that becomes truly formidable is the one that learns to harness its energy and direct it like a laser toward a single aim. Scattered energy produces scattered results. Concentrated energy produces miracles. You must decide what you truly want, and then pour yourself into it with such intensity that every fiber of your being is aligned. When people see this level of focus, they will call you obsessed. They will warn you that you are too narrow, too consumed. But what they call obsession is simply clarity, and clarity is frightening to those who live in confusion. A strong mind is also forged in the fire of patience. Impatience is the mark of the weak, for they demand immediate results, and when they do not see them, they give up. But the strong understand that time is an ally, not an enemy. They understand that the seed planted today will not bear fruit tomorrow, but that it will bear fruit if tended, if watered, if protected. They are willing to wait, to work, to endure, knowing that the law of cause and effect cannot be broken. This patience unnerves others because it reveals their own restless desperation. To wait with calm confidence, to labor with steady determination, to move with the certainty that success is inevitable, that is the mark of a mind so strong that it unsettles the very atmosphere around it. But perhaps the most powerful element of such a mind is its independence. The strong mind does not require constant validation. It does not need the approval of the crowd. It does not bend to the fashions of opinion. It thinks for itself, decides for itself, believes for itself. The majority fear independence because it demands responsibility. It is far easier to be told what to think than to think deeply, far easier to follow than to lead. But those who develop the courage to rely on their own judgment, to trust their own reason, to pursue their own vision regardless of opposition, these are the ones who rise to greatness. And when others encounter this independence, they feel both admiration and discomfort, for they see in it a strength they wish they had. Do not misunderstand. Building such a mind is not a task completed in a day, a week, or even a year. It is the work of a lifetime, but every day that you choose discipline over distraction, faith over fear, patience over haste, and independence over conformity. You are laying another stone in the fortress of your mind. With every stone laid, your mind grows stronger, more unshakable, more formidable, and when you look back, you will see that what once seemed impossible has become inevitable, what once seemed out of reach has become reality. What once was a dream has become a destiny. To build a mind so strong it scares people is not about power over others. It is about mastery over yourself. It is about creating an inner strength so profound that no external circumstance can disturb it. It is about walking into any room, any challenge, any season of life with the unshakable knowledge that you are in command of your greatest asset, your mind. And when you do this, when you reach this level of mastery, you will find that people look at you differently. Some will admire you, some will follow you, some will fear you, but all will respect the undeniable strength of a mind that refuses to be broken. So build it with your thoughts, build it with your faith, build it with your discipline, build it with your patience, build it with your independence, build it until nothing can shake it, nothing can corrupt it, nothing can conquer it. And when you have built it, you will stand as proof that the human mind, when strengthened with purpose and persistence, becomes the most powerful force on earth. When you commit yourself to the building of such a mind, you must accept that loneliness will often be your companion. For a mind that refuses to settle for mediocrity will naturally separate itself from those who are content to drift. This is not isolation in the sense of weakness, but rather solitude in the sense of power. You learn to value time alone because it is in solitude that the deepest insights emerge. It is when the noise of the world is silenced that the voice of your own vision grows louder. Many fear being alone with their thoughts because they have never disciplined them. But when you discipline your thoughts, solitude becomes a sanctuary, a workshop, a temple where ideas are shaped into reality. That is why strong minds are rare. Most run from silence, but the strong embrace it. To continue strengthening this mental fortress, you must feed your mind only with material worthy of growth. Just as the body cannot thrive on poison, the mind cannot thrive on destructive input. What you read, what you watch, what you listen to, all of these become bricks in the structure of your consciousness. If you consume the ordinary, you will think the ordinary. If you consume the trivial, you will think the trivial. But if you feed your mind with great thoughts, timeless wisdom, powerful ideas, then you build within yourself a library of strength that no circumstance can erase. People often wonder why their thoughts are weak, yet they fill their days with gossip, distraction, and fear-driven messages. The strong choose differently. They are selective. They treat the mind as sacred ground, never allowing weeds to grow where fruit is meant to flourish. Discipline is not simply about what you allow in, but also about what you demand of yourself daily. The mind grows strong when it is exercised, just as the body grows strong under resistance. When you push yourself to think deeply, to solve problems others avoid, to analyze when others assume, you strengthen mental muscles that most people never develop. Each time you confront confusion and wrestle with it until clarity appears, you increase the sharpness of your intellect. Each time you resist the urge to give in to mental laziness, you build endurance. This is the hidden training ground of the strong mind. Day after day of deliberate thinking, reflection, study, and application. And though others may not see this process, they will see the results in the force of your presence. What is remarkable about building such a mind is that it transforms not only how you see yourself, but how the world responds to you. The strong mind speaks less, but when it does speak, its words carry weight. It acts with calmness even in chaos, and this calmness unsettles the fearful. It carries a vision that others cannot yet perceive, and this vision unsettles the short-sighted. It does not bend under criticism, and this unshakable resolve unsettles the insecure. People sense the strength even if they cannot name it, and their instinct is to either follow it or resist it. But whether they follow or resist, they cannot ignore it. That is the true sign of mental mastery. You can no longer be overlooked. You must understand, too, that fear will always attempt to creep into the corners of your mind, no matter how strong it becomes. Fear is the ancient shadow of the human condition. But when your mind has been disciplined, fear becomes a signal, not a master. It may whisper, but it cannot command. The weak surrender to fear without question, but the strong interrogate it, challenge it, and then push forward regardless. This ability to act in the presence of fear is one of the most terrifying qualities to those who watch you, for most are paralyzed by what you seem to move through with confidence. It makes them ask, "What does this person know that I do not? What strength do they have that I lack?" And it is this very mystery that adds to the power of your presence. Finally, let us remember that a strong mind is not built for selfish ends alone. Yes, it elevates your life. Yes, it protects you from defeat, but it also becomes a beacon for others. Those who are struggling in confusion will look to your clarity. Those who are drowning in fear will look to your courage. Those who are trapped in mediocrity will look to your vision. And though some may resist or even resent your strength, others will draw hope and inspiration from it. That is the paradox of a mind so strong it scares people, it frightens the weak, but it awakens the willing. It divides the complacent from the courageous. It separates those who shrink from those who rise. And by your example, you give permission to others to rise as well. The strength of your mind will always be measured by how well it performs under pressure. Anyone can appear strong when the skies are clear, but the true test comes in the storm. When circumstances collapse, when uncertainty surrounds you, when everything external seems to crumble, this is when the world sees what you are truly made of. A weak mind panics, flails, and breaks. A strong mind becomes still, evaluates, and moves forward with deliberate steps. It does not deny the storm, but it does not allow the storm to dictate its direction. It knows that storms pass, but the decisions made within them can shape destiny forever. When people see you calm when they are afraid, confident when they are doubting, resolute when they are retreating, it unnerves them. They wonder how you can remain unshaken, and it is in that moment they realize you have something they do not, mastery over your mind. This mastery also demands that you set standards that most will not accept for themselves. The strong mind refuses to indulge excuses. It does not allow procrastination to dominate its days. It does not indulge in self-pity or dwell on what cannot be changed. Instead, it asks at every turn, "What can I do with what I have, here and now?" This refusal to accept the common excuses of failure makes you different, and difference often scares people. They want you to be like them, to think like them, to fail like them, so that their weaknesses remain hidden in the comfort of the crowd. But when you rise above excuse making, when you take complete responsibility for your life, your very existence becomes a mirror showing them their own lack of discipline. That mirror is frightening. That mirror is powerful. That mirror is the sign of your growing strength. Another trait of the strong mind is its ability to remain adaptable without losing its principles. The weak cling to the familiar and resist change out of fear. The strong welcome change as opportunity and adjust quickly, always guided by a clear vision. This adaptability makes you appear unstoppable, for no obstacle seems final, no failure seems fatal, no detour seems permanent. Others will wonder why what breaks them does not break you, why what discourages them does not discourage you. They will suspect you have some secret advantage, and in truth you do. You have trained your mind to see possibility where they see only limitation. This shift in perspective alone is enough to create an aura of strength that makes others step back in awe. What you must guard against, however, is the temptation to misuse this power. A strong mind must remain rooted in humility, for arrogance is the one weakness that can undo all your work. The purpose of building such a mind is not to dominate others, but to master yourself. It is not to boast of your strength, but to embody it quietly, steadily, consistently, until no one can deny it. The greatest strength often requires the least display. People will feel it in your presence, in your words, in your choices. They will know that you are different without you needing to announce it. True strength never shouts, it simply stands, and in standing it commands respect. Over time you will find that your strong mind does more than scare people. It attracts the right ones. Those who are hungry for growth will draw near. Those who wish to rise will ask for guidance. Those who are tired of weakness will look for your example. And in lifting them, your own strength multiplies. For the mind that is truly powerful is not only a shield against adversity, but a torch that lights the path for others. And so, in the end, to build a mind so strong it scares people is to accept the responsibility of being both a warrior and a guide. A warrior who conquers self, and a guide who shows others what is possible when self is mastered. When you train your mind to such a degree of strength, you will also notice how it transforms the way you perceive success and failure. The weak mind views success as luck, a matter of chance, and failure as the end of the road. This strong mind knows that both success and failure are simply steps along the same path. Success confirms discipline, failure refines it. The strong mind does not collapse in the face of rejection or defeat. Instead, it studies, adjusts, and tries again with greater precision. This refusal to surrender makes you appear almost inhuman to those who give up easily. They watch you fall and rise again, never staying down, and it unsettles them because it exposes how quickly they abandon their own goals. Persistence is frightening to the lazy because it highlights their surrender. But persistence is natural to the strong because it is embedded in their identity. The strong mind also learns to detach itself from the noise of opinion. The average person builds their life on the shifting sands of what others think. Approval lifts them, criticism destroys them. They are at the mercy of outside judgment. But the strong mind learns to build on bedrock. It knows its worth, it knows its vision, and it knows its path. Approval or criticism may come, but neither changes its course. This independence of thought can be deeply intimidating. When people realize they cannot sway you with flattery or shake you with ridicule, they recognize that you are no longer under their control. And when they lose control, they become uneasy, even afraid, because you are proof that a person can live free from the invisible chains of opinion. To reach this level requires a constant sharpening of awareness. The strong mind does not drift through life unconsciously. It observes, reflects, questions, and understands. It is awake when most are asleep. It notices patterns, sees consequences before they appear, anticipates outcomes that others are blind to. This heightened awareness can feel almost supernatural to those around you. They will say you have intuition, luck, or foresight, but in reality, you have simply trained your mind to think deeper and further than they have. You have sharpened your vision until you can see what they cannot. And that difference in vision creates an air of mystery that can both attract and unsettle. The strong mind also carries discipline into the smallest details of life. It knows that strength is not built only in great moments, but in the small, hidden choices of each day. Rising early to focus, finishing what you start, saying no to distractions, protecting your energy, these small acts, repeated consistently, build an immense foundation of mental strength.
People who live without discipline cannot understand how you continue to uphold your standards day after day. They will say it is too much, too strict, too demanding. Yet they will also secretly admire you, for they know that without discipline they are slaves to their impulses.
Your very consistency will unsettle them because it highlights their own lack of control. And as the years pass, the true reward of building such a mind will reveal itself. It is not merely success in career or recognition in society, though these may come. The true reward is freedom. The freedom to live as you choose, the freedom to face any challenge without fear, the freedom to know that nothing external can master you. This freedom is rare, and it is powerful. It sets you apart in ways that words cannot fully explain. People will sense it, feel it, and respond to it. Some will admire it, some will resist it, but none will be able to ignore it. For when you build a mind so strong it scares people, you become a living reminder of what human beings are capable of when they decide to master themselves completely. There is a moment in the journey of building such a mind when you begin to see how different your inner world has become compared to the world around you. What once provoked you no longer moves you, what once tempted you no longer attracts you, and what once defeated you no longer has power over you. The strong mind gains immunity to the small battles that consume the weak. You stop wasting energy on proving yourself, on winning arguments, on seeking validation. Instead, your energy is directed toward growth, creation, and the pursuit of a vision larger than yourself. This quiet shift unnerves people because they expect reactions. They expect you to be pulled into their storms, but instead you remain calm, still, unshaken. That calmness, that stillness, is more powerful than any loud display, and it carries with it an authority that cannot be denied. To strengthen your mind further, you must embrace the discipline of clarity. Most people drift in a haze of vague desires and undefined goals. They want happiness, they want success, they want peace, but they cannot define what those words mean for them personally. The strong mind knows exactly what it is pursuing. It has written its vision, sharpened its aims, and set its course with precision. That clarity is magnetic because it reveals direction in a world that is mostly lost. People will come to you for answers, for guidance, for stability, because your clarity shines where their confusion blinds them. Yet at the same time, that clarity can intimidate, for it reminds them of the work they have avoided, the decisions they have delayed, the dreams they have abandoned. And so again, the presence of a strong mind becomes both a light and a mirror, guiding some, confronting others. Another truth about building a mind that scares people is that you must learn to detach from comfort. Comfort is the greatest enemy of strength. The weak seek comfort as their highest prize, never realizing that comfort erodes their courage. The strong willingly step into discomfort, not because they enjoy pain, but because they know growth demands it. They choose the difficult path, the hard conversation, the demanding discipline, because they know that each challenge faced is another brick added to their fortress. And when people see you walking straight into what they spend their lives avoiding, they are unsettled. They wonder why you are not afraid, why you are not retreating, why you are not broken by difficulty. They do not understand that it is precisely by embracing what they fear that you have built what they admire. The strong mind also refuses to be enslaved by time. It respects time, it values it, it organizes it, but it does not allow the illusion of too late or not enough to dictate its actions. It knows that every moment holds possibility, and so it does not waste time regretting the past or fearing the future. It lives with intensity in the present, using each day as material for the construction of greatness. This relationship with time is foreign to most, who squander their hours and then complain of lack. But when they see you living with urgency, focus, and purpose, they sense something almost otherworldly about you. It unsettles them to realize how much time they have wasted while you have been steadily building. That is why your discipline, your consistency, your use of time itself becomes a source of both admiration and intimidation. Ultimately, building a mind so strong that it scares people is a commitment to live differently from the majority. It is a vow to reject the easy path, the common excuses, the shallow distractions, and to embrace instead the narrow road of discipline, vision, resilience, and faith. Few will walk that road, but those who do will carry within them a strength that cannot be hidden, and though the world may resist it, it will also bow to it, for true strength commands respect even from those who fear it. In the end, to build a mind so strong it scares people is to rise above the ordinary patterns of thought and choose mastery over mediocrity. It is to discipline yourself until your faith is unshakable, your vision is unclouded, your patience is unending, and your resilience is unbreakable. It is to live in such a way that storms cannot move you, fear cannot control you, and doubt cannot defeat you. Others may resist you, others may fear you, others may whisper against you, but all will recognize the undeniable force of your strength. And when you walk with that strength, you not only transform your own life, but you become a light that proves to the world what the human mind is capable of when it is fully awakened. Build it, guard it, live it, and let your very presence be the proof that greatness begins in the mind.